It's Friday, October 25th. I think we're ready. Well, maybe some last minute touches. Good morning. Now we're ready. Headed to Solomon's, Maryland as leg one to pick up Matt.
Well, Cape Canaveral.
Yeah.
Well, how does it feel, Skipper?
Clear.
I can't believe I'm finally doing it.
We're doing this. Ciao, ciao.
3 dark hours of the morning. Not that dark, though.
And there we are off Rock Hole Beach. 10 knots of breeze, running 6-3 down the bay. Winds on our beam. We ran almost 8 knots all the way down to the Solomons, an incredible first day sail. And I learned when you have ex-military aboard, it is required to have a written watch list. Here is our watches for the next several days. I also learned tool organization. First night going down the bay, we're under power because we lost wind, and we're just going slow because we want to come out the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel around first light and go straight offshore. Smith Point Lighthouse. There it goes. Okay, one state south in Virginia. Crescent moon, a waning crescent moon coming up about 3:30 in the morning. We're by Cape Charles. Had to navigate around a whole mess of cargo ships. There they are. Sets of lights are the lights on top of the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel. We need to find where the tunnel is to go over it, which is a little bit difficult at night, especially with commercial ships coming in. Hard to see these in the dark. Luckily we have VHF, and they told me they were coming, and I have radar. From Virginia to North Carolina is that line. Woohoo! Fixing the preventer. White light is Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. Woohoo! Did it. Good Tuesday morning. We rounded Cape Hatteras last night about 3 a.m. We just turned the engines on because the wind is directly behind us. Hopefully it'll shift soon so we can do some more sailing. It's been great so far. Watch the current move around in a circle. It's constantly changing. Now it's with me, and it's just against me. Eddies. 9:30 in the morning. My shift has been over and time for sleep. That's out my portal. Okay, we're off the coast of Wilmington, North Carolina. We just finished dinner. It's about 8 o'clock. We are under engine because the wind, although being 15 knots, is on our transom. It's to veer off to the east soon, and then we're able to put up the sails. Meanwhile, Matt's at the helm, and I decided to watch the World Series. The wind finally picked up and moved to the southeast. We are sailing off the coast of North Carolina, Frying Pan Shoals, Cape Fear, Wilmington, North Carolina, which is out there somewhere. Some lights. It's a little after midnight, and it's a great sail. Right on the beam, moving at 7.8 right now. This is why I like ocean sailing. Look how steady the winds have been. 14 knots for hours. I am constantly monitoring where we are in regard to the Gulf Stream currents. The red is the worst. I'm also constantly monitoring our house batteries. Good morning, it's 7 a.m. We are in South Carolina. The winds came up from the right direction last night. It's been warm now. It's even warm a little bit in the cabins. Kevin's at the helm. This is South Carolina out there somewhere, about 40-50 miles offshore. And those are the seas out my portal. Overcast day, unfortunately. Winds came up about midnight, and we've been having a brisk winds from 10 to 18, running 7-8 knots on the beam. Starlink is a game changer. We have entered Georgia and waiting to see if we catch the green flash. Fantastic sailing day, covered 157 miles, all under sail. There's nothing out here. We see that. And Matt says, wow, we haven't had any squalls. 5 minutes later. We said we haven't got a squall, and guess what? 2 minutes later, thanks Matt, it started raining. Almost at Florida, it's our last night out. Good morning. Sunrise finally came up. It's about 7:30 in the morning. We are motoring still because I turned to fit starboard to head into Port Canaveral. We are 55 miles out. We should be there sometime just around dusk, maybe a little thereafter. Last night we were dancing in between squalls, not packed with too much wind, probably up to 30 knots. Not much rain either, just they came and went, high and low in the wind. This morning it's 9 knots, not much to sail on. So we're gonna just cruise on motor and finish up this trip, which has been really great, relatively uneventful. And the seas are even starting to subside. Our seas were a little big for really for a while, but now they're down to about 4 to 6 feet with an 8-second period, which is really nice. The end of the journey.
One last try. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
This is the complete trip, but from Virginia Beach to Port Canaveral, it took us 4.5 days. And good morning from Port Canaveral. What you hear is there's a Disney boat and Norwegian Cruise Lines working on tying the boat down properly in its new slip.
You want to give me your digging line while you do that so you don't float away?
The square concrete pilings required chains and other hardware to affix the dock lines.
The black pillar on the left is a recovered SpaceX booster. And you can't sail into Port Canaveral without going to Kennedy Space Center. And in the virtual reality shoot 'em up Star Wars style, Kevin sure blew our socks off. We had a blast, pun intended. We got to see a Falcon 9 take off. There was a sonic boom at the end, a double boom, but I missed that in my recording. Time to head home. And a road trip up the East Coast would not be complete without a visit to Buc-ee's. Thank you, Kevin and Matt, for making this possible. You guys were absolutely awesome.